Hello everyone. Everyone that's new, welcome to my channel, and definitely hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm just gonna come to you guys and give you a little bit of background story of how I discovered I was pregnant. So my last period was August 11th. And so I'm currently 9 weeks pregnant. I just found out about two and a half weeks ago that I was pregnant. Um, so basically, what had happened was after my last period, my periods have always been, for the most part, pretty regular. So, the first sign that happened was definitely that I just started to feel extremely tired for some reason. I mean, I'm a full-time student and I also work full-time, so of course I'm typically always going to be tired because there's just so much to do. But I just felt like extremely tired. Like me and my boyfriend would go on a bunch of dates, and I would find myself getting tired when we went on dates. We would go to friends' house, and I would find myself passing out on the couch. I just seemed to be extremely more exhausted than usual. So that was probably one of my first signs. And then also one of the biggest things, even to this day now, is that my breasts seem to be extremely tender. Like, and not just tender, but they seem to be growing. It was actually my boyfriend who noticed it first. He was like, oh my goodness, your breasts are, they're getting a lot bigger. I mean, I've never been like a heavy chested girl. I'm pretty small. I've always been pretty much in the B cup range. So basically my boobs started to get a lot bigger, and actually a lot of my bras started to not fit. So I was like, oh, I was thinking like, wow, like my boobs are actually getting bigger. I was actually pretty excited because I thought my boobs are pretty much gonna stay the same size for the rest of my life. Not saying that that's an issue, but sometimes what you don't have, you typically kind of want a little bit more. Yeah, so anyway, going back to the period situation. So my last period was August 11th, and I remember it started getting close to towards the end of September, and I started to get a little worried because I have this app actually. It's called Flow, F-L-O. I had this app that I used to use, and I used to always record my periods and whenever I participated in sexual intercourse, just a bunch of womanly things. And basically the app would tell me like when my next expected period was and when my next expected ovulation was. So I was using that app, and so from the app my period had happened to be probably about 5 days late, which sometimes my period falls within like a little bit of being within that late phase, I should say. But typically by like 3 to 5 days, I'm like, okay, it usually comes on. So like towards that fifth day, I started to get a little antsy, but I was like, I'm still gonna wait it out before I take a pregnancy test because it's probably gonna come on. So then actually that night I started having a little bit of light spotting. But it was spotting, so I was thinking that this was going to be the start of my period and that as the days went on that it would get heavier. Because sometimes that's what happens. My period starts off really light and then all of a sudden, psh, like, hello, Mother Nature. So that's kind of what I thought was going to happen. But as time progressed, I just noticed that it just stayed light and then it actually disappeared. So that was definitely another big, like, okay, something's like going on. And so, actually the day before I found out, my boyfriend and me, we had went to Buffalo Wild Wings for just to have a little date. And I remember when we went and we had ordered wings, the first thing I noticed is that the smell of the wings made me really nauseous. And so in the back of my mind, I'm thinking like, wow, like something is not right. I mean, as a woman, you pretty much can tell, you pretty much know your body, so you can tell when something's out of the norm and when something's pretty regular. So for me, it was kind of like, okay, like it was kind of like a red flag. It was like, okay, something's not right. I couldn't finish my wings. And even that next day when I went to work, I was like, oh, I just bring my wings for lunch. That just means more there. The next day when I went to work and I tried to eat my wings, I actually couldn't eat them. I actually gave them to my coworkers because just the smell of it made me extremely, extremely nauseous. So I was like, something's not right. So I was like, okay, I think during that time it was Thursday. So I was like, all right, I'm going to wait until Sunday. And if nothing happens by Sunday, then I'm going to go buy some pregnancy tests. So that night I actually went and bought bought a box of pregnancy tests, and it came with a box of 3. At the time, I didn't even check to see what type of pregnancy tests they were. But so I had went to work the next day. And then when I had got home, I was like, I can't even wait until Sunday. I'm going to take them. So when my boyfriend had got home that morning, he was like, go ahead and take it. Or not that morning. Yeah, he had got home that morning, but I actually didn't take it until that night. So before he had to leave for work that night, he was like, oh, go ahead and take it before I leave. So I had taken a test, and at the time when I had taken the test, I didn't look at the box because this wasn't my first time taking pregnancy test. So I didn't look at the box, but I just assumed all of them in there were just the yes, no, like where it would be 2 lines for yes and 1 line for no, like meaning no as in pregnant and yes meaning 2 lines you're pregnant. So I just took a random pack out of the box. I didn't even read anything, and I opened it, did my business, and I was just sitting there waiting. And so the first thing that happened, so I'm just waiting. And so it comes back and I see 1 line. And then I'm like, okay, well, I probably not. But then, like, within a few seconds, another faint line started to appear up there. So I was like, ooh. So I showed my boyfriend, and he was like, oh, okay, so you're not pregnant. And I was like, well, the only thing I'm nervous about is that, like, in the past when I had taken pregnancy tests, it was just the 1 line. It was never a faint line beside it. It was just that 1 line. So I was like, that makes me a little nervous because I've never seen that before. So he was like, well, on the box, there's one that says yes or no, so you should just take that one next. And I was like, okay. Which I'm glad he read the box because I didn't even read the box. So like I said, I thought all of them were just the 2 lines for yes, you're pregnant, or 1 line for no, you're not pregnant. But there was actually, out of the 3, there were 2 of them that were like that. And then there was one that said yes, or no, it didn't say yes. It said no, not pregnant, or pregnant. So I was like, okay, well, this will tell me for sure. Like, it won't like lead me on as the other one, because the other one can be a little bit questionable and up for debate. So immediately, I didn't even wait. I just went back upstairs and went back to the bathroom and took the test. And it didn't even take, it took less than a minute, I would say, and it said pregnant. So my first reaction was actually like a bit of shock, and I cried. And, at the time I didn't know if they were tears of happiness or tears of sadness. I am only 23 years old right now, even though me and my boyfriend were, at that time, we were in the process of moving in together and stuff like that. It just seemed like, I'm, still in school, still in college. And even though I obtained 1 degree and I'm getting a 2nd degree, I'm still not in the career I wanted. So I didn't know if it was really tears of happiness or tears of sadness. But then I started to think about it, and I was just like, God does not make mistakes, basically, like everything happens for a reason. So you know, if his timing is that this is going to happen right now, then this is going to happen right now. And I don't believe in abortions. I don't believe in adoption or anything like that. I believe that if I can do the business, then I can take care of the business, basically. So, yeah, so that's basically the background story of how I found out. Feel free to leave comments in the below section to let me know how you guys found out. And I guess I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.